Hello and welcome back to Proactive New York. Joining me today is Sandy Chim, CEO at Century Global Commodities. Sandy, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Great to see you, Christine.
Sandy, since the last time we spoke around the April timeframe, we've seen the group's share price jump to around by 50%. What do you think is driving up the price?
Yeah, actually, we're very happy to see that a few things, about three things very important. We think that the market is responding very well to this very positive development of the company. Sort of going, from the most recent news release back, we announced our year-end results just a few days ago. We actually were able to deliver a few $1 million of cash flow and profit for a development company to have actually paid for the development expenses and corporate expenses for the year. And they were coming from two actually very accretive M&A transactions to have done that. And having done that, actually, we have put the company's financial position in a very strong position of doubling our working capital from about 7 million the year before to about 15 million Canadian dollars by the end of this last fiscal year. And our cash position tripled to about $12 million. And in addition to that, actually, we were able during the year to have advanced the Joyce Lake project from where it was when the market was down to have already completed environmental impact statement. And we submitted that impact statement with the federal and the provincial governments to have restarted actually the permitting process, which is actually a very important milestone over the course of the development of the project. And in addition, we were actually putting together a fundraising strategy. Instead of doing it on the Canadian market, which is a little bit of a lacquer in our sector, the Australian market understands very well the iron ore market, particularly direct shipping ore, like our deposit. So we have embarked on a journey of taking our project to Australia. We announced in April that we hired an investment banker to help us do that. A month later, we brought in a couple of million Australian dollars from sophisticated, very experienced iron ore investors in Australia from that country to actually have given us the credibility to go forward. And now we are going through a listing process to apply for going public on the ASX.
Usually mining companies are spending money, not making money. So
yes.
Very interesting in this case. So you mentioned spinning out the Joyce Lake project. For investors who might be new to the story here, just remind us why you decided to do that.
Yeah, actually, this is a great market opportunity. The way that the iron ore market is going, I mean, the global seaborne market is trading very high, historic high. It's about today about 215 to 220 US dollars per ton, which is highest ever on record, higher than even the last super cycle, which was touching about $200 for a very short time. We actually have been seeing $200 over the last 2 months. May, June, and into July is even higher. Year to date wise, we're talking about $185 US per ton, which is a very strong signal of a strong return of the iron ore market. So in that background, a project like ours, it doesn't take billions of dollars to develop. We have a capital expenditure according to our feasibility study is about 250 million Canadian dollars. And we can generate, if we are trading at $140 a ton US of iron ore price, we're talking about $500 million of value, NPV value after tax. And on 100 million shares traded outstanding with our company, we're talking about $5 value there. And that's why, because the project, the deposit in situ today has about 80 million tons with a high iron ore price, a very high potential value, while the market have been trading only about $30 million today, even after the 50% increase since we last talked about our project in April.
So when would you expect Joyce Lake to actually list on the ASX?
We're looking at actually the ASX has been very busy. Obviously, it's a very hot market there. We're looking at about 3 to 6 month time frame. I think is a reasonable time frame that we can go through the process. We have already gone through, going through raising seed money there already, because we're already a public company in Canada. So the kind of corporate governance project documentation is actually up to a very first tier mining market in Canada. It's going to go down well in Australia as well. So I think within about half a year, we should be able to do that.
So while you spin out Joyce Lake and advance that project, where does that leave Century Global?
Good question. Actually, Joyce Lake is the most advanced project at the lowest capex, spinning out into a very and a market understanding that project is very important. I think it helps to create value for the company and also give value to the Australian investors. Other than Joyce Lake, we have other major multi-billion ton projects within our portfolio. One of them called Full Moon, which has about 17 billion tons a deposit. Remember that we have only 18 million tons of high-grade deposit, but this is a very high volume. As a bit lower grade, about 30%, which is kind of pretty normal for a project of this size. So the Joyce Lake, after the Joyce Lake project spin out, it'll have its own development path and very specific project, very accretive. Then after doing Joyce, we actually can, for Century, take advance other project in similar ways, but it will take a little bit longer and more capital to do so.
Well, certainly lots going on for you and wishing you the best of luck in these next few months. Sandy, thanks so much.
Thank you, Christine.